This episode of Beyond the Backyard is brought to you by Ultimate Archery and Outdoors, Ultimate Deer Products, Edutrax Incorporated, Red Light Flue Pot Seed Company, Tacticam, and by Jay's Sporting Goods. Hey, it's Steve of Michigan Outdoor Obsession. Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Backyard, where we cover everything hunting, fishing, and outdoors in the state of Michigan. This episode is brought to you by Ultimate Archery and Outdoors, Ultimate Deer Products, Red Light Flue Pot Seed Company, Tacticam, Jay's Sporting Goods, and Edutrax Incorporated. We're going to dive into, from the DNR, managing the doe herd in Michigan. Now, I want to explore why they're pushing more antler harvest and the variations we're seeing county by county, and possibly some proposed solutions like cutting doe tag fees. Depending on where you live. You could be in one county and maybe you don't see any deer. Maybe you've seen 8 deer all deer season. And then you go, maybe even sometimes within the same county, you go a little bit over and your neighbor's got an abundance of does. So it really is hard to manage something when it's so different depending on where you're at. But why is there more does? Now, population balance and ecological health is a big thing. Now, the DNR aims to maintain balanced deer populations. In particular, they're noticing wildlife vehicle collisions are up, crop damage, habitat concerns tied to high deer density, and they say we need to quickly, substantially increase our antlers deer harvest across much of the Lower Peninsula. That's what they're saying, that they need to cut down the does. As you saw, they tried taking away the bucks from the Liberty hunt because they wanted the doe population to go down. They wanted more kids and the disabled hunters to shoot does instead of bucks. Harvest numbers have dipped over the years. In 2023, Michigan saw a statewide deer harvest drop of nearly 11.9%, with the percentage of does drop to just 40%, falling short of the 43% target that they try to go after. With their county level areas and county level issues when it comes to doe hunting, there's a declining harvest in the Upper Peninsula. Now, they did just change it where now during the archery season in the UP, you can shoot does. That's an awesome thing. First time in 10 years they're letting that happen. But UP County saw a declining range of about 11% in Mackinac to over almost 40% in Gogebic, Marquette, and Okanagan. There's encouraging upticks elsewhere. I know in the Lower Peninsula, some counties like Mecosta saw slight increases in antlerless harvest. 2,027 does taken in 2024 versus 1,983 does taken in 2023. Now, we need targeted local responses. Now, Kent County formed a deer management coalition in 2024 to collect field data, track deer crashes, and partner with Grand Valley State University for population studies, which is huge. I think we need more people to study this. I think it's got to go outside just the NRC and the DNR. We need area by area studies and figure out this doe issue, because like I said, in some areas you got a ton of does. Some areas you barely have any deer. So we have to be able to manage it site by site kind of thing. We can't put one general blanket over the whole thing and say, hey, we're going to let you shoot 5 does in the whole Lower Peninsula or 10 does a year in the Lower Peninsula to try to take out the does. We also need to make sure we're not doing that in areas that are already hurting with doe populations. We're only targeting the areas that maybe have a overpopulation of does. Now, one way they're trying to think, how can they get more people to shoot does? Now, doe tag prices, they need to make it affordable. What's the status quo? Currently, Michigan residents pay $20 for antlerless deer tags. Discounted antlerless license, they did try launching. So in 2024, a $5 antlerless tag was introduced for the extended firearms season, which was January 2nd to the 12th, and to boost doe harvest in Pacific Lower Peninsula's DMUs. They let it for that late doe tag for the 2nd to 12th, it was $5 a tag. Now, there's been a huge call from a lot of people out there for permanent cuts. Now, there's a growing community of momentum. Some quoting, I quote, if it is really to harvest more does, then make all doe tags $5 and see if it works. I 100% agree with that. You're sitting here as the DNR, the NRC, and you're saying we need more does shot, and you're trying to take the buck hunts away from the kids. You're trying to take up the bucks away from the Liberty hunt, the disabled hunt. But try the simplest thing out there. You've raised doe tags to $20 a tag. That should be the first thing that you do. If you're really trying to limit or take down the doe population in the state of Michigan, if that's your ultimate goal, well, then the easiest fix to that is to lower your prices down to $5 a tag. You can't sit there and expect people to shoot more does when you're making them pay $20 a tag. I mean, you have to realize that money is probably an option. You're gonna have people that go shoot five does. Well, there's $100 boom before you even process the deer if you don't do the processing yourself. So before you do anything with trying to take bucks away from the kids or the disabled veterans, first thing you do is you lower the prices down. There is a new legislative push. State senators recently proposed permanently tying antlerless doe tags to $5. It'd be an 80% discount from the $25 price while adjusting other fees accordingly. I 100% agree with that. You got to raise it a little bit here and there, but if your issue right now is to take the doe population down, then that should be the area that you focus on getting rid of is lowering the doe prices down to $5. But I do have some questions for you guys, and I do want to hear your feedback because here on Beyond the Backyard, and we care about what you think in the state of Michigan. That's what this is. It's a give and take. We're not experts here on Beyond the Backyard. We just like to share our experiences, share different things going on in the state of Michigan, and we'd like to hear your feedback. So I want to know in the comments. I have some questions for you guys. I want to know what you think about this. So how do you hunters, how do you guys out there feel about a $5 doe tag? Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? Is it something that's going to help the population? Are there going to be more people shooting does if we lower the prices down to $5 a tag? And another question is, do county level harvest efforts reflect what you're seeing locally? You know, you're seeing these reports of these deer being shot, or the decrease in deer, or decrease in or an abundance of does. What are you seeing in your neck of the woods? What kind of population are you seeing? What kind of harvest are you seeing each year in the last couple of years? And then third, do you think would permanent price cut lead you to shoot more does? Would going from $20 to $5 make it easier for you to go out and shoot more does? Or is it based on how you just want to manage your herd? Everyone has a different opinion on how they manage the herd, which is fine. Like I said, that's what this is all about. Everyone has a different way of doing stuff, and there's not a wrong way. But we just want to know what you guys are doing. I mean, the main point of this is that the DNR is pushing for higher doe harvest to manage herd density and reduce conflicts, disease spreading, the car accidents, deer collision is huge in Michigan. We got mixed harvest results though. You know, some are strong in lower peninsula counties, and then we have declining numbers in the UP. We got doe tag fee reductions from $20 to $5, which I think would be a huge thing. It was tested. Now lawmakers, hunters are pushing for a permanent drop. And also, it's time to take action. You know, how can Michigan hunters by region step up to help manage the doe herd? What can we do in the state as a whole to get this thing wrapped up? We've talked about this numerous times in different podcasts, that there's so many different ways to do it around here. And the DNR seems like every year they're testing out something different. You know, after this many years of testing out different stuff, changing this, changing that, you'd eventually get something that works, right? Like you think eventually you'd come together with the NRC and the DNR would come together to come up with actual solutions and not just keep testing out new things every year. Join the conversation with us on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, and let us know what's going on. What do you think about the current state of our doe population in Michigan? Let us know what you're seeing in your neck of the woods. What's the doe population like? Are you seeing good numbers? Are you seeing low numbers? We want to know what you have to say. We want to hear your feedback. So from all of us at Beyond the Backyard and Michigan Outdoor Obsession, thank you for tuning in. We can't wait to talk to you again soon. Shoot straight. Be safe.